Hey guys, how's it going? It's your mate Al. So if you haven't already noticed, I've not really moved from the first episode. I was kind of like I was getting into it. When I get into a rhythm, I think I just get a little bit excited and just wanting to keep it going, you know. This is going to be the second episode, which is more about myself. So you guys can get to know me a little bit more. Obviously, I did explain about why I made the YouTube channel, and obviously, I was telling you guys about an inner passion and inner desire that I had, and that I believe everyone does have. And so, yeah, but I kind of want to give you guys a little bit more of a, I guess, somewhat like personal, not personal, but you know what I mean, like just a bit about myself. So. I said it in the other one, but I was born here in Australia. Grew up here in Brisbane, Australia, and but my parents are from El Salvador. So if you guys don't know where that is, which is it's cool if you don't, because a lot of people don't. It's in Central America, so it's kind of like in between South America and Mexico. It's like a bunch of those little connection ones. Yeah, it's one of the little minion ones in there. And my parents came here like God knows, I think like 35 years ago, and then yeah, because it was like a big civil war, or whatever. I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, so I was to be honest, it's a privilege to be born here in Australia. You learn that actually. You learn that when your parents are from a third world country. If you know anything about El Salvador, it's a pretty dangerous country. They're infamous for the MS-13, which is some really horrible gangs that they have over there. And I've been there quite a few times. I love the country. It's amazing. It's so much beautiful scenery and just like they have this amazing lake. I forgot the name, like Guatepeque or some shit like that. I don't know, but it's beautiful. The place is beautiful. The people are great. And there's a connection there. There's always a connection there to the country. It's in my blood. It's nice. But I haven't been there in a little while. But as I mentioned in the last one, I can speak Spanish and Portuguese as well. So I went to Brazil and I loved it, but I couldn't speak a word of Portuguese the first time I went to Brazil. But I absolutely fell in love with the culture, with the music, with the food, with the people, with the women. I'm not gonna lie, um, they are very nice in many different ways, and yeah, it's just a great place. Really, it's really cool. I know that people say bad things. It's like anywhere really, that there's always this like kind of like negative view on things, but that place has so much beauty to it. It's amazing. So I learned Portuguese, and I believe actually I have a bit of a knack for learning languages. Because yeah, I never learned any of this stuff from classes or anything like that, from lessons or a teacher. I just kind of learned it just picking it up. But this is something that became something I really loved. So I do love that. I love that culture. I love that Latin culture. It's in my blood, I guess. But growing up here in Australia, it is definitely a different culture. So one thing that I consider myself quite good at, I guess, is that I'm very like in tune. I analyze things quite a bit, so I really get the Australian culture, like the real, yeah mate, how's it going, like the real like Aussie culture, like the true blue, yeah mate. So like I get that, and I love it as well. Actually, I love the Australian culture. Growing up here, it was something that you connect with it. You were born into it. Um, but yeah, I do have that Latin root as well, and I love the Latin culture too because there's so much like warmth. There's so much more about family and like love and there's a deeper like connection there. I think on with family and things like that. Not to say that Australians aren't as close with their family, but I do believe I have to admit that the Latin people are much more about that, and the Brazilians as well. They're very warm. They're just incredible people. So that's me. But I mentioned that I went to uni and things like that. I did study business and exercise science. The kind of like purpose behind that was at the time I really love gym. I really love going to the gym. I love fitness, health and fitness. It's a big passion of mine, especially as of late. Actually, I've always been into it. Like even in high school, I was training. Like that was a real like high school thing back then. It was just like yeah, like the boys sort of thing. But it was and that was a big thing in Australia for like around 2000 and oh man, like 2006 to like 2000 and I'd say like 12 even. That was like just like the thing, you know, stereosonic. Like if anyone's from Australia, they know this sort of like culture that has faded a little bit, thank God. But it's still in there a bit. But I was never, well, back then it was more about that, like, yeah, you know, get mass and stuff. Um, by the way, that's one of the words that I use. So I mentioned in the last video there are a lot of words that I kind of use and I always say with my close friends, and even just kind of like my like group of friends in general. We just have some words, and one of the words that I use a lot is mass. Um, so I say that when it's like something like, or like good. It's a positive thing. It's like when it has to do with either mass, like physical mass, like big, or like someone that does something that's really cool. So I'll be like, man, that guy's a mass. It could be physically, or it could be like he's like done really nice things, really good things, and he's just a mass. Like Elon Musk, for example, you know, bloody mass. But yeah, so I'm gonna probably drop these words here and there, and you know, I'll try to explain it so you guys can get it, because there's many words. There's many words that we use, but like I said in the last video, I want you guys to be connected with me and feel like you are one of my close friends, because that's the idea. But oh god, where was I going with that? Oh jeez, I actually forgot. This is such a standard thing that I do. But about uni and then like getting mass. Yeah. All right. So yeah, the gym thing. I was really into it, and that's why I studied exercise science. And the idea was actually I wanted to own or run a gym, so that's why I wanted to know the business stuff as well. But I found out that I didn't really like that sort of thing. I wasn't really into it as much. But I loved business. I actually loved business, but I didn't really want to get into the whole like running a gym thing. But I really love business. I just found that fitness was just a kind of like passion that I enjoy. That's something I like to keep fit. I like to keep healthy. But I actually got like significant results just in the last year. I'll see if I can maybe like post a photo on this. I'm really bad at like editing and stuff like that. My idea was kind of to just do the videos like this. But if I can chuck a photo in I just posted this kind of like a month ago, I think, on my Instagram, of a transformation. Because I was pretty thick. Like I was a girthy guy, you know. Not like super girth, but like I was pretty thick, and yeah, and like I got like pretty lean. Like you know, it was always a goal of mine to have like a six pack. I know that sounds like really like pretentious and stuff, but like honestly, it was literally just a goal I had, because I believe that, I don't know, everyone has a six pack, like everyone, and that just like really interested me. I was like, man, I wonder what my abs look like. Like that was actually the reason why I was like, I really want to get to that point where I can see my abs, because I feel like it's just a cool thing to be able to see how you can get your body to like its physical prime. Like I wouldn't say I'm at my physical prime. I still, you know, I have some abs, but not like a full on clean, you know, six pack. But you know, hopefully I can put the photo up and you can see what I mean. But I've always been like a little bit like thicker, but then like, you know, just getting pretty big, love gym and stuff like that. But anyway, I really love business. So I went through many different cycles in my life, with different businesses. I got into network marketing at the start, with a health company, and I actually did pretty well. Like, you know, I know that people talk a lot of shit about network marketing, and I have to kind of agree with them, to be honest. I think that they provide amazing products. I have to be honest. Like, I think some of the best products in the world actually come from network marketing or multi-level marketing. But unfortunately, I don't like the way that people deliver the opportunity to people. Sometimes it can be, it's not the best way. And anyway, I actually did pretty well in that, because I think and this is like, by the way, this is with all sales. I truly believe this. You have to be genuine. You have to genuinely believe in your product and in your service and everything you do. And I have to admit, I genuinely believed in that company and in that opportunity and in the products. Like, so when I was like delivering it to people and I was talking and things like that, because I was one of the main guys, one of the like main sort of guys that did speeches and did all that sort of stuff. And you know, like, what, you know, you've probably been to, like, maybe you've been to like a conference that these people do. And I was talking, and a lot of people like were convinced by me because I had that kind of like genuine thing, and it was actually genuine. But with time, I realized that that wasn't really I don't know, I didn't really like the way things were getting I didn't really like how it was getting set and stuff like that. So I moved on from that, and yeah, and I went through like different businesses in my life, but I've always gone that business route, and even though that's been quite difficult, I've had some seriously difficult times in my life. In the last, I want to say like 6 to 7 years, there's been some extreme ups and downs, and to be honest, mainly downs, unfortunately. But at the same time, I truly believe that all those experiences is exactly that. I never believe that there's a bad experience in life. I don't believe in that. I believe that only experiences that you learn from, or good experiences. It's one or the other. And all these experiences, even though at the time they were horrible, because they were really horrible, um, I learned so much from it. I learned everything from it, and I truly believe, like in the bottom of my heart, that those experiences will make me really fly in life, and achieve my ultimate goals. And we have to do that. We have to go through these experiences to be able to do that. And it might not be in business. It might be in other avenues, with relationships, with many different things. So with me personally, another reason why I actually made this channel is because I mentioned that I feel like I have this natural knack when it comes to helping people and giving advice and things like that. And I think one of my big strengths is actually with relationships. I always felt that I was really good with relationship advice. I don't know if it's just something like even when I was younger, like I was like 13, 14. I hadn't even like kissed a girl. Like I didn't even have a girlfriend or anything like that. But for some reason, I could feel what it was like. I don't know if it's like I learned from my parents or from like my cousins. I had like older cousins and my sister, and there is this saying where like they say that like a good person learns from their own mistakes, but a smart person learns from other people's mistakes. And I believe I was kind of doing that even at a young age, because I seemed to just have this like I don't know, this knowledge and that I had just kind of picked up. And then throughout my own experiences, obviously I implemented that knowledge. And then obviously, as I mentioned before, there's nothing like actually having your own experiences. And I've had my fair share of experiences with relationships. And I really think I can help out with that. So that's another thing. If you guys are having trouble with relationships, whether it's with a guy or a girl, then please tell me, or write it, send it in a message, or tell me your things, and I think I can help out with that, because that's one of the things that I feel like I'm pretty good at. So anyway, now, like I said, I've gone through these ups and downs and things like that in my life, but I've been blessed to have an amazing family and friends. And at the end, that was one of the most important things that got me through a lot of the hard times, and myself as well. I have to give myself credit. I have been quite strong in life. I've gone through a lot of stuff that I would consider to be pretty difficult. Like I believe it's not to make like to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I do believe I've gone through some pretty tough times that I've been able to bounce back from pretty well, and strong, and be able to just keep it going. And now I'm doing this because I believe that I can share that with other people, and shared my experiences, my advice, and things like that. And I mentioned this in other ones before, but now I'm doing something that I do love. I have to admit, I do love what I do. I work with international students. This is kind of like a little, like I said, I have this kind of connection with the Latin community, and specifically with, I would say, people that do come to Australia and start their lives here. I think it has something to do with the fact that my parents were in that same boat, 35 years ago or something like that, and they came here with no English, no nothing, and they created a great life for myself and for my sister. and they've been able to do so much. So I kind of feel this like inner connection with that whenever I do help these students come here to study in Australia. So that's what my business is. I have a student agency, so I help international students come study here in Australia, usually for English, or they tend to extend their visa with like diplomas or certificates or university and things like that. And I love it. I really do. I really love working with these students. A lot of my clientele base is from Colombia mainly, and from Brazil, and other parts of South America. And I love it. There's something so gratifying from helping someone to achieve. Maybe it's not achieving their like dream or something like that, but it's doing that first step to getting to their goal here in Australia, whatever that may be. It could just be learning English, but it could be having a life here in Australia, because like I said, it is a privilege to be here in Australia, to live here. And this country really has amazing things, and I feel blessed to have been born here. So yeah, that's my business, and I love what I do. But to be honest with you, this YouTube thing, and I mentioned the other one that I want to start doing is like TikTok things, like some more fun stuff. It's really in line with what I want to do. Like my true like passion, what I truly feel is helping people, giving advice. This is what I feel that my gifts are in, my skills. I'm just a non-judgmental person, and I love to help people in whatever it may be. So if you do have something that you want to talk about, just put it in the comments, or like send me a direct message or whatever, and let's have a chat. Let's just chat and see how what we can do. So anyway, again, I've seen that this is now at 16 minutes. Man, I rant. I seriously rant. I can see that this is going to be a thing. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Yep, so I'll catch you guys later. By the way, this is a thing that me and my mates do sometimes. I know it's really weird. One day my friend just did it randomly, and we were just like, what the fuck? But then we're just like, all right, let's just let's just do it as well. So I'll catch you guys later. It's your mate Al, and yeah, we'll talk soon. See you guys.